Hey, I'm Adam Jusko from ProudMoney.com. Wayfair out with a new credit card today issued by Citibank, switching away from Comenity Bank. New card with new features, so we're going to take a look at what is up with that. But first, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not already. And if you have already, I thank you for doing so. So Wayfair out with a new credit card issued by Citibank, actually potentially two credit cards, depending on which one you might qualify for. This is probably to the surprise of former Wayfair credit card holders when the card was issued by Comenity Bank, because Comenity shut down the old Wayfair credit card, either shut it down completely or issued people a new Comenity MasterCard with some different cash back features. But it seems, as far as I can tell, that Comenity never told anyone that there actually was a new Wayfair credit card coming. So it appeared as if the Wayfair credit card was just dead, but really there is a new Wayfair credit card from Citi. All right, so there are two new Wayfair credit cards, a MasterCard or a store-only card, meaning that second card you could only use at Wayfair or one of its sister stores or child stores. Joss & Main is a brand, All Modern, and I think there's one or two others as well. So regardless of which card you had, you would get a 5% reward on your Wayfair purchases. Now, if you qualified for the MasterCard, you could also earn rewards other places. The card obviously would be accepted anywhere MasterCard is accepted, and you would get a 3% reward at grocery stores. You'd get a 2% reward on online purchases, and then a 1% reward everywhere else. Now, these rewards are only good as rewards toward future Wayfair purchases, so you can't use them for anything else. So when you're thinking about 3% in grocery stores or 2% in online purchases, that sort of thing, you're only thinking about the fact that you're getting, points or cash that can be used toward future Wayfair purchases. As far as those online purchases go, you should know that really they're sort of intended to be like retail purchases. If you were buying actual things versus, memberships or utilities or paying for your doctor, any of those kind of things are not going to qualify as online purchases. They have a long list of things that don't qualify. So, kind of what you think of as traditional retail is where you would get that 2%. One of the nice things about the Wayfair rewards is that there is no minimum to redeem them. So if you have earned some, you can use them on your next Wayfair purchase, no matter how small the amount is that you have. But you also have the option to save them up if you want to as well. So they're not going to force you into taking a $5 or $10 certificate or whatever after a certain place, or you don't have to wait until you reach $5 or $10 in order to actually redeem your rewards. So that is really nice. As far as I can tell, the points that you earn here do not expire. There are multiple places today that I have seen where they say no expiration. Now, in lieu of rewards, you can also choose special 0% financing or perhaps some 9.99% financing for very large purchases. So there is 0% financing that starts at purchases of $199 or more. So that would be 0% for 6 months when you're at that level, up to 0% for 24 months if you are making a purchase of $3,000 or more. And then you can also take advantage of some 9.99% financing on larger purchases and have it stretch out even farther to 36 or 48 or even 60 months when you get into the $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 range of your purchases. Now, as far as that 0% financing goes, you should know that it is deferred financing, which means if you don't pay off every single cent within whatever that promotional period is, that 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, then you are going to get charged all the interest that would have accrued since the day you made the purchase. So you have to pay off everything within whatever that promotional period is, and you don't want to have to pay off all the stuff from the day you made the purchase at the regular interest rate. So make sure you pay it off, because the regular interest rate, 26.99%. New cardholders to the Wayfair credit cards get a discount. I would not call it a bonus because it does require you to spend quite a bit at Wayfair. That discount is $40 off a purchase of $250 or more. So you have to use that basically when you get the card. It is not something that you can just let sit for a long time whenever you make a $250 purchase. So as far as I'm concerned, that's sort of a nice thing if you're going to make a big purchase. And in many cases, if you're going to get get this card, you're probably in the market for a decent sized purchase. But still, it's 40 bucks off of $250, which is, you know, roughly a 15% off, you know, discount on a purchase. Not a big deal. Now, if you apply for the Wayfair credit card, they are going to be looking at you for both of the cards, both the Wayfair MasterCard and the Wayfair Store Only card. If you qualify for both, they're going to give you the choice. You can get the MasterCard if you want it, or you could take the Store Only card. If you only qualify for the Store Only card, they're only going to give you that option. If you don't qualify for either, then obviously you're not going to get anything, although they might ask you if they can set you up with some different financing that probably will be at terrible interest rates. Now, they also have a pre-qualifying or pre-qualification tool on the site that you can use to try to see if you would qualify for the cards. It is a soft pull, not a hard inquiry if you do that pre-qualification. I went through it and they did not pre-qualify me, but they did say that I could still apply for the card. Now, if you don't pre-qualify me, I'm not going to apply for your card because I'm going to assume I'm being turned down. I was surprised to not pre-qualify because I have a very high credit score, although I did recently make a very big purchase from a different furniture retailer and took them up on their credit card offer that gave me a 10% reward right up front. So that is possibly the reason why I did not pre-qualify for a new furniture card, you know, less than a month later. So anyway, you can use that pre-qualifying tool, soft pull. If you go through and you actually apply for the card and they make a decision on your application and give you the card, that would be a hard pull, and then that would obviously affect your credit history and your credit score. By the way, Wayfair and Citi say that this card is potentially instant approval, so if you apply and you are approved, you can potentially use the card before it is actually in your hand. Now, Citi is the new issuer of the Wayfair card. Comenity Bank was the old issuer. If you are someone that is thinking about what your chances are of being approved, my guess would be they're a little more difficult with Citi backing the card than they were with Comenity Bank backing the card. Now, retail credit cards in general tend to be an easier thing to be approved for than bank credit cards that you can, use more widely and get better rewards. However, I would think that the hurdle to be approved has gone up a little bit with Citi. Oh, and as far as I can tell, if you had the Wayfair credit card that was issued by Comenity Bank, that is all over, and if you want this card, you have to reapply all over again. All right, so what do I think of the new Wayfair credit cards issued now by Citibank? Pretty decent. If I were buying from Wayfair, buying a new couch, or maybe setting up a new apartment and furnishing it, and I was making some purchases, I could see maybe getting this card, taking that 5% reward, especially knowing that I could use it at my leisure. No minimum in terms of the redemption on those points, as far as I can tell. No expiration on those points. So that means it is something that I could feel like I don't have to really worry about, just use it whenever it makes sense for me. I really wouldn't get this card to use as a MasterCard outside of Wayfair. The 3% on groceries is a fine reward. The 2% on online shopping is a very nice reward in a lot of ways, but still, those are rewards only toward Wayfair purchases, so no flexibility to use them in any other way. The only way I could see that I would really find this as attractive is if maybe I had a lower credit score and I was having a harder time getting approved for some other credit cards. Maybe it would be nice to get those multiples on groceries and online shopping, even though they were only going to be useful toward Wayfair purchases. But I think for most people, you'd rather have a bank card and get your 3% on groceries or your 2% on online purchases elsewhere. And then the 0% offers are fine as long as you don't fall into the deferred financing trap. Also the 9.99% offers if you make a really big purchase and you really want to draw it out all the way up to potentially 60 months. These are nice options to have. Again, though, this is a retail store credit card, and so it is good for a retail store credit card. It is not a card that I would compare favorably to bank cards in general, but certainly a card that I could see why you might want it, especially given the flexibility of how you can use those rewards. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and as always, please go to proudmoney.com where we do credit card reviews, we talk personal finance, we talk deals, and don't forget to drop some comments in there too.